Hey guitar enthusiasts, welcome back. In this lesson video, we're going to be going over a very easy version of a C chord for beginners. Let's get into the lesson. So when I'm teaching chords, usually the number one chord that people start hating is the C chord. You know, they're playing this three-fingered C chord and they can't get the damn thing to stop muting. Or maybe it's just very hard for you guys to move your fingers around, because for most beginners, you don't have a lot of finger dexterity or flexibility, particularly if you're an older student. I work with a lot of students in their 60s and 70s and 50s, etc. And sometimes they have arthritis or their fingers just don't move as fast. So doing this C chord can be very hard. So what I've done is I've developed a little easy C chord that most guitar teachers hate when I teach this because they say there's not a real C chord. Well, you know what? It helps people play music. So let's learn the easy C chord. So when you play guitar, the hardest finger to move is always the third finger. All right, you need to develop that finger before trying those three-fingered chords. So what I start students off with is just a two-fingered C chord. We eliminate the third finger. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take the first finger, and I'll go in for a close-up on this afterwards. We're going to put the first finger on the second string first fret. Okay, so it's right there, and then we're going to take the second finger and we're going to put it on the fourth string second fret. Okay, so it sounds like this, and we're going to try and play the bottom four strings. Okay, so that's going to be our C chord. All right, again, it's going to be first finger on the second string first fret and the second finger on the second fret of the fourth string. We're going to try and play just the bottom four strings. Okay, so we call this the easy C chord. All right, there's a different name for it, but we're not going to get into that. But I call it the easy C chord because most students can play this chord without muting a lot of the other strings. It's much easier for students to get a clean chord versus the C chord. They play a full C chord and it sounds like this. So that's frustrating in the beginning when you're just learning guitar. So I always like to take students one step back and I say, hey, let's do the two-fingered C chord and then we'll do some exercises to work on flexibility for this third finger. And I'll throw a finger exercise up here for you guys if you want to go check that out. But first what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in for a close-up so that you guys can see exactly where I'm putting my fingers on the guitar. So here I am, here's my guitar, here's my fretboard. So we're going to take the first finger, we're going to put it on the second string first fret right here. The second finger is going to reach up and go to the fourth string second fret, okay? And all we're going to do is we're just going to play the bottom four strings. We're going to try to not strum these. If you do, it's okay. It's not going to sound the greatest, but just try to get the bottom four. Okay, so once again, it's going to be the first finger on the second string first fret, and then the second finger is going to jump up here to the fourth string second fret. So we don't want to mute the strings, so you want to bend those knuckles as best you can. See, flat knuckles, bent knuckles, flat knuckles, bent knuckles, all right? So that is our easy C chord that we're going to play. Hey guys, I hope you're getting value from this lesson. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on so you know when I release more lessons just like this one. So usually what I do is I show students how to move between this C chord and this E minor chord. Okay, all we have to do is move one finger. It's very simple. All right, so this is how I practice people learning this C chord. So we leave the second finger in place, we move the first finger above the first finger. Okay, and then you move the first finger back down to the second string first fret. Then you move the first finger back, second fret, fifth string right above this first finger. Now people say, oh Lauren, but I learned the E minor with the second and third fingers. That's great, I really don't care. You can play it either way you want, but for this exercise, I want you to use the first finger because all we're doing is moving one finger. I just want you guys to simplify, please. We're trying to make things easier for you. Don't make them harder, okay? So just move one finger back and forth. C, E minor, C, E minor, C. Do that a bunch of times. It's going to be a lot easier to go to this C chord. And once you start developing strength in your hands and you feel like your hands are stretching out and this third finger relaxes a bit more, then you can work on this C chord. Because if your hands, this C chord goes over 3 frets, if you're not stretched out enough, it's going to be very, very hard to play, and it's probably going to sound like this, and it's going to be very frustrating. So if you're feeling frustrated with that 3-fingered C chord, try the 2-fingered C chord and see if it's a lot more helpful. Hey guys, leave a comment below to let me know if you thought this 2-fingered C chord was easier than the 3-fingered C chord. Not only that, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a whole 7-level guitar system where I teach some of these easy chords and we build upon a solid foundation. If you guys want to go check that out, put a link in the description below to the 7-level guitar system. Love it. A lot of my students love it, particularly my older students. YouTube's going to pop up a couple more videos over here. Go check those out. Hopefully I'll see you guys in another guitar lesson video very soon.